It was a hot summer afternoon, the sky like a giant furnace burning everything below. Dry winds blew across the cracked fields, and the last of the grass was falling. The once peaceful village was now filled with a heavy silence. Arguments broke out between families, between friends, and even within each other. The crops were dying, the wells were running dry, and everyone was desperate. In a house at the corner of the village, a farmer and his wife were arguing fiercely. "Why do you want to go to the fields? Without water, how can we grow anything? At this rate, we will starve to death," his wife shouted, her voice trembling with fear. "But if I do nothing, isn't that just sitting there waiting to die?" "I have to try, even if it's just a glimmer of hope," the farmer replied, his eyes burning with determination, but also with exhaustion. The argument was interrupted by the clear voice of his 6-year-old daughter. "Mom and Dad, have we tried praying?" The farmer and his wife fell silent, turning to look at the little girl. Her words were like an arrow, piercing the thick fog of anxiety and anger. The villagers had discussed praying together, but everyone thought it was useless. But now, in the innocent eyes of his daughter, the farmer saw something he had long lost: faith. At the agreed time, the family sat down in the small house. The farmer clasped his hands, his eyes closed. He prayed, "Lord, if you are listening, please save us. Our crops are dying. This village is dying. We have nothing left but this prayer." His wife, unable to hold back her tears, also prayed silently. "We have done all we can. Please send rain to save my family and the villagers." Then it was the girl's turn. With a clear voice, she prayed, "Oh God, I know you can do anything. Please send rain so that my father will not be sad anymore." When the prayer ended, the farmer stood up to go to the field. "Where are you going, Father?" the girl asked. "Let's go see how the field is," he answered briefly. "Wait, I'll go with you," the girl cried, running into the house. A moment later, she returned with an umbrella in her hand. The farmer looked at the umbrella, surprised. "What are you doing with an umbrella? It's so sunny. Where is the rain coming from?" The girl smiled, her eyes sparkling with faith. "Father, we just prayed for rain. If we don't bring an umbrella, what if it rains?" The farmer was stunned. The girl's words were like a small fire burning in his heart. He looked up at the sky, still deep blue, cloudless. But when he looked into his daughter's bright eyes, he felt a miracle happening, not from the sky, but from within himself. He smiled and took her hand. "Okay, take the umbrella. Let's go to the fields together." The father and daughter walked through the dry fields, the small umbrella swinging with each step. The villagers looked at them, at first surprised, then gradually they smiled. Some people started going to the fields, carrying tools. Some others brought umbrellas. That night, when the whole village was asleep, a strange sound rang out. Drip, drip, then rustle. The first rain in months fell, cool as the breath of the earth and sky. The farmer ran outside, arms outstretched to catch the raindrops. The girl ran after him. The umbrella in her hand opened. She giggled. "I told you, God will make it rain." The father knelt and hugged his daughter. He understood that sometimes what we lack is not action, but belief that miracles can happen. And sometimes that miracle starts with an umbrella. Do you think that when the first rain fell on the village, the farmer looked up to the sky, his heart filled with gratitude? But he understood that the rain did not only come from the sky, but also from the strong belief in the heart of the little girl. A belief that did not stop at prayer, but was expressed through decisive action, carrying an umbrella. In life, we often pray for good things, but do we really believe that they can happen? And more importantly, do we act as if that miracle is on the way? Faith without action is just vague wishes, and action without faith is like walking in the night without a lamp. That is the valuable lesson from the little girl and the little umbrella. A subtle reminder that sometimes, to change the world around us, we need to start with our own beliefs and actions. The first lesson we learn from that story is to act with faith. Have you ever wondered what makes a man without arms write a book? Or a man without legs climb a mountain? The answer is simple: faith and action. Just think, if Nick Vujicic, the man born without arms and legs, just sat and prayed without starting to learn how to stand up, would he have become an inspirational speaker for millions of people? If Thomas Edison gave up after the 9,099th failure in creating a light bulb, would we have light tonight? Those great people are living proof that faith is the fire, but action is the wind that fans the fire so that it burns brightly, leading the way for miracles. Imagine you are holding the seed of a giant tree in your hand. You know that if you plant it in the ground, water it, and take care of it properly, it will become a big, strong tree. But if you just hold it in your hand and hope that it will grow on its own, you will never see the tree. Faith without action is like a seed forgotten in a drawer, full of potential, but forever unrealized. Interestingly, the action does not have to be big. Like the little girl in the story carrying the umbrella, a small action, but a great expression of faith. It is a reminder that sometimes, when we take just one small step, the universe will take 10 steps back to us. Do you dare to try? Dare to believe in what you want and start acting as if it were already within your reach? Philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Our life is what our thoughts make of it." But we would like to add, our life is also what our actions make of it. So, if you believe you deserve a better life, take action today. Start small, whether it's making a plan, writing an idea, or simply waking up 10 minutes earlier to exercise. Miracles won't happen if you just sit and wait. What about you? What's holding you back from getting started? What can you do right now to turn your beliefs into action? Once we act with faith, the world around us will start to change magically, just like the little girl in the story who carried an umbrella and turned her prayers into rain. But have you ever wondered what helped her have such pure faith? It was the clear eyes and untroubled soul of a child. Children are not suffocated by doubts, worries, or fears like adults. They believe in good things without complicated reasons. So sometimes, to make our faith and action stronger, we need to learn to see life through the lens of children, where everything is simple, bright, and full of hope. So, do you remember the last time you saw the world like a child? Now comes the second important lesson from this story. Learn to see life through the eyes of children. Have you ever noticed that when we were kids, we could watch a leaf fall for hours without getting bored? But now, as adults, we don't have the patience to watch a sunset without scrolling through our phones. The busyness of modern life has made us forget how to see the world with the curiosity and innocence of a child. Children see this world as a giant miracle, from a butterfly resting on a flower to a rainbow appearing after a rainstorm. But what about us adults? We race against time, busy with work, and let miracles pass by without even realizing it. Is that sad? Very sad. But the good news is that we can learn to see life through the eyes of a child again. Just think, how many times a day do children usually laugh? According to research, on average, a child laughs more than 300 times, while adults only laugh about 20 times, and that's on a lucky day. Children smile because they don't worry about tomorrow, don't obsess over the past, and never judge the present. They live fully in the moment. This is the art of living that we have inadvertently forgotten. Looking at life through the eyes of a child does not mean being naive or irresponsible. It is learning to see the little things around you with gratitude and finding joy in the simplest things. When you eat a meal, remember that many people don't have that. When you feel the wind blowing on your face, stop for a second to feel it. Just like a child will close his eyes to enjoy and smile. Philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau once said, "Children see all the magic in things that adults take for granted." And that is the greatest lesson, learning to find joy in the simple things that we have overlooked. So why not give it a try? Spend a day without judgment, without pressure, without haste. Just live like a child. Ask yourself, if I looked at the world through the eyes of a child today, what would I see differently? Maybe you'll find a smile in the eyes of a loved one, something interesting in a familiar job, or a miracle in your soul. What about you? When was the last time you felt the wonder of life as a child? Share that moment in the comments. Who knows? Your story might awaken joy in someone who's lost their way. Thank you for taking the time to join us in today's story. Life is sometimes a journey full of bright and dark colors, but it is our beliefs, actions, and the way we look at the world that will add more brilliant colors. Your presence here is not only a joy, but also a great motivation for us to continue bringing meaningful stories, inspiring positive living. If this story touches your heart, leave a love by clicking like, and don't forget to share to spread good values to the people you love. We believe that a small action can change someone's whole day, just like the small light from a candle can spread throughout a dark room. Finally, we want to hear from you. An inspirational quote, a thought, or a memorable moment about your beliefs or the way you look at life. Leave a comment, because who knows, your words might become a source of light to guide others. The miracle begins with the eyes you choose to see life with. Do you believe it?